All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone Grew Well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Just doing a quick video on the fact that, in the kingdom of heaven, we will have complete control over our emotions. We're going to have complete control over our emotions. And the reason I say that, the reason that's spurred into a topic is because so often in this world, you're battling your feelings and emotions. When I say you're battling them, you're battling, to not let them control you. That's a part of having a stoic mentality. A part of a stoic mentality is you're not emotional. You're calm, collected at all times, and you don't let your emotions control you. And, hey, it's a fight though. It's a fight. It's constantly a fight. It's constantly something that you have to, observe and watch yourself so that you can rule your own spirit. And just in the kingdom of heaven though, we won't have to fight that fight. In the kingdom of heaven, with these new bodies, we'll also get new minds, and we'll have control over our minds. We'll have 100% control over the human brain. The whole brain was meant to be controlled. We don't have parts of this brain for no reason. In the kingdom of heaven, we're going to have complete control over the mind. And that comes with complete control over our feelings and emotions, your mood, the vibe, the energy that you feel. You'll no longer feel awkwardness, all that different stuff. But right now, we have to practice ruling our spirit. You got to practice self-control. It's written here in Proverbs and Ephesians. I'm going to get a couple precepts on that because it's just on my spirit. You battle these emotions and feelings all the time. You're probably, when you're at work, you may have to deal with coworkers that get you upset and that get you angry. I know that I've dealt with some of those type of people before. Coworkers that you don't necessarily like, but you have to control how you feel so you don't let your emotions get the better of you. Hey, we won't have to worry about that in the kingdom of heaven, man. So that's just, positive words, positive energy I'm throwing out there. And I'm gonna get a couple precepts on controlling yourself, because we're not in the kingdom of heaven right now. So we have to exercise self-control. That's what we must do. So we got to control our feelings and emotions. This is Proverbs 25:28. It says, "He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls." And when you think about it, a city is fortified. A city is made strong by its walls. Its walls defend against intruders. The higher and stronger the wall is, the more fortified the city. So that city is you could say is you, is your mind, is you. And those walls represent self-control, rule over your spirit. If you don't have any self-control or rule over your spirit, then essentially your city, meaning you have no defense. You have no control. You have no self-control. You're just going to be easily angered, easily, every little thing is just going to tip you off. And that's not how you should be. As men in this truth, and the few women that listen, we got to have rule over our own spirit. That's imperative, if that's the word I'm thinking. You got to be slow to anger, as the scriptures say. And it's hard. It's hard while you're in this flesh. It's hard while you're in this flesh, but it's a fight that you have to constantly put up with, man. Because we're waiting for the glory of those new bodies where we won't have to fight this. We won't have to fight this mind anymore. But we're not in the kingdom of heaven yet. And I always like to give situations with these type of videos because I think it makes it more relatable. Like I said, you may be in a situation where you have a coworker that you don't like and they may be getting on your nerves. You got to control yourself. Don't let the energy of emotions and feelings immediately get to you. Don't let it control you, man. You have to be slow to anger, right? This is Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir. Oh, that wasn't the one. I mean, that goes into it, that goes into it. That wasn't the precept that I wanted, though. I'll read it, though. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. This actually goes into it, though. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. And that does go into it, though, because it deals with wisdom and how to deal with people. Going in on that example, if you do have a coworker that you have issues with, or someone who gets on your nerves, you have to answer them with wisdom. Always think, how can I answer someone with wisdom? Because when you answer with wisdom, that's why I said the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright. When you answer with wisdom, you're choosing the spiritual option. And more than likely, you're going to avoid that person. You're going to avoid any strife or any beef, any quarrel with that person, But let me see. Proverbs 15:18. That's the one. It says, a wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. So we have to be slow to anger to appease strife. And let's look up that word strife. It says, I believe that's rayub for strife. And it says strife, controversy, dispute, strife, quarrel. Basically means an issue arises. So it says, a wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. Yeah, you have to be slow to anger at all times. You can't let your emotions control you. You got to be slow to anger. Maybe if you have an issue with a brother, y'all get into like a debate, it's always good to be slow to anger, man. Because anger that's not controlled is just emotional. And that's how women are. Majority of them, at least. Not, you know what I'm saying? So, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. So you got to be slow to anger, control your emotions, that type of deal, man. Now let me get this scripture, because I believe it goes into different circumstances that we have in life that can cause you to be more emotional. But you have to know how to, you got to know how to be temperate in all things. This is Philippians 4:12. It says, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Hamashiach which strengthen me. So the reason I got that is because we're going to be in situations in life where you're going to have less. You're going to be in situations where you don't have exactly what you want. And those type of situations can cause you to be very emotional. Those situations can cause you to, get deep into your feelings. But you have to know how to be abased and you have to know how to be abound. Essentially what that means is you have to know how to have less, and you have to know how to live with more. You have to know how to live with whatever circumstances the Lord puts in your life, and don't let your emotions control you. Always pray that you have rule over your spirit and that you're temperate in all things. This is what Apostle Paul was writing here in Philippians, and he was shipwrecked. The scriptures say he'd been through all types of stuff, man. Forgetting the exact quote, but he's been through all types of stuff. And when you go through different experiences in life that have to do with being in a circumstance that it's something that you don't want, you learn to control yourself. You learn to exercise the fruits of the spirit. You learn to exercise patience, temperance, love, joy, peace, kindness. You learn to exercise, the fruits of the spirit more when you're in these type of situations. And the fruits of the spirit are godly attributes. And the fruits of the spirit go into emotions, love, joy. Those are emotions, man. So you actually learn the positive those are feelings, those are feelings, those are emotions. So you actually learn that there's a positive flip side to emotions. What it means to be stoic, it doesn't just mean that you ignore emotions. It means that you have self-control over your emotions, and you let the positive ones flourish, and while the negative ones you keep at bay. So you have to know how to both be abound, how to be a base, and know how to abound everywhere and in all things. See, everywhere and in all things, no matter what circumstance your life holds, you have to exercise self-control, because we're not in the kingdom. Nothing is going to be perfect here in this life. There's always going to be something that you can complain about, but you have to exercise self-control, whether it be at work, whether it be at home with your family, whether it be when you're just by yourself. You got to exercise self-control. Well, let me get this. I'll just get this last scripture, because it goes into it. Ephesians 4:26. It says, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil." Yeah, be ye angry and sin not. It shows you that you can actually be angry, that there's nothing wrong with the emotion of anger or the feeling of anger. There's nothing wrong with it, but you're supposed to not let it control you. When it controls you, that's how it leads to sin. And I've experienced situations in the past where, anger controlled me, and it led me to do things that I shouldn't have done, So be angry and sin not. So you can be angry, but just don't let it cause you to sin. All right. In this hell of a life that we live, you're supposed to be angry, at the wicked, at these wicked 2/3, at these wicked Edomites, at the heathen. You're supposed to be angry at the fact that you're a slave. You're not supposed to like these things, but you don't let it control you. You don't let it cause you to sin. And that's all about temperance. The word temperance means self-control or self-restraint, So just wanted to throw that energy out there in regards to controlling yourself, controlling your emotions in this world that we live in. In the kingdom of heaven, we're going to have complete control of our emotions and feelings. But right now, we have to fight the battle and exercise self-control and control ourselves. And don't let your circumstances in life cause you to sin. Always exercise a stoic mentality, which is self-control over yourself. So Lord willing, this was edifying. Till the next time, shalom.